So now we have an FBI informant, a government spy. We're not going to play the leftist euphemism game. It was a spy, S-P-Y, being paid by your tax dollars to illicitly spy on the opposition candidate for the presidency, Donald Trump, into 2017, potentially into his presidency here, where other stuff is happening. And we find out that other money may have changed hands as well from political operations that were intertwined with this. I told you this was going to get hot, folks. So Durham probe. Johnny D. Johnny D. Who's John Durham? For those regular listeners, you already know. Someone just tuned in today for the first time. John Durham is the federal investigator from the Department of Justice looking into the whole spying scandal on the Trump team. He's assigned by Attorney General Barr. And apparently, to our friend Sarah Carter's got a little scoop that Johnny D's probe is heating up. There's some people in a lot of trouble, and she covers something that if you're a regular listener to the show, you already know about, but it's worth repeating today because she's kind of got the scoop. SarahCarter.com. It'll be up at our, was it SarahACarter.com? I'm not really sure. It'll be up at the show notes regardless. Bongino.com again /newsletter. We'll send this article to you. Headline, John Durham criminal probe gathers steam investigating, post-election documents too? Ooh. So there are two scoops in this. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sarah Carter's got some really, I know she has some really good sources on this. I'm sure of it. Let's go to scoop number one, scoopski number one first, which you heard before, but wait, before we go to, I know I see you're getting ready, getting the trigger finger happy there. Before we go to, I just want to cover this one thing. I want to set this up before I get to this snippet from SarahCarter.com. I just want to set it up first. I told you, Joe, you can vouch for me on this because I know you remember it because we talked about it off air. I told you about 3-4 months ago that the spying scandal on the Trump team is multi-layered, but it's really very simple. Did a political party spy on its opposition, President Trump, to gain political advantage using government intel assets? It's not hard to figure out. Now, there's a lot of nuance and layers in there. Right. Who knew who was tied to who, how it involves Ukraine, how it involves Mike Flynn, and we covered that all last week. But the scandal is very simple to understand, and don't ever forget it. The Obama team spied on the Trump team and lied about it. Simple as that.
Okay.
Now, when you keep it 30,000 feet, I said to you, one of the biggest parts of the big scandal is, that should really ring your bell, is did you pay for it? Were taxpayer dollars used to pay a government spy to spy on President Trump? It is a shockingly, and I'm not kidding, I'm even astounded by this, because I know the media sucks, like they're just really awful. But you would think at least one entrepreneurial media type would say, gosh, this has to be the scoop of a generation. How is it not? That taxpayer money was used to possibly pay a spy to spy on taxpayers' choice for president, Donald Trump. Like, that's a crazy scandal. And no one talks about it at all. Well, Sarah Carter's picking up this piece. Now, to her first takeaway. Remember, she's talking about two big reveals. Durham probe expands to Pentagon. It's SarahACarter.com. First reported that Durham has expanded his investigation to include the Pentagon's Office of Net Assessment. Regular listeners are like, that ONA, Office of Net Assessment, those creepers, they keep coming up. They keep creeping into the storyline here. Well, what happened with the Office of Net Assessment at the Pentagon? Well, they contracted former FBI informant Stefan Halper, who had contacts with 4 Trump campaign officials. The ONA awarded Halper multiple contracts that totaled over $1 million. Whoa, this is an Austin Powers moment. $1 million, crazy time. DOJ Inspector General Horowitz' most recent report described interviews with FBI agents that said it was serendipitous, Joe, that Halper knew all the sources in Crossfire Hurricane's investigation. Right. The FBI agents said they couldn't believe their luck. They couldn't believe it that Halper had contacts with 3 of their 4 subjects, Carter Page Papadopoulos, as well as General Flynn. Crazy how that happens. $1 million. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pentagon obviously is financed by you. The Office of Net Assessments is not a private capital forming organization. It is a government entity financed by you, taxpayers. Did you pay Halper to spy on the Trump team? 3 or 4 members of the Trump team that the FBI thought, whoa, my gosh, I can't believe this guy Halper knows all these people. Did you ever think to ask how he knew those people? Now, you may say, Dan, you've addressed that before. What's the new angle? Well, the new angle is that Durham may be a little hip to that. And the new angle, which I'm going to add, which is not in Sarah Carter's report, but that I've heard may be part of it. I'm sure Sarah knows this. I'm not trying to take any kind of a shot at her at all. Sarah knows a lot too. Is who else was Halper getting money from? Folks, if this is proven, these allegations, that not, by the way, that Halper was paid from the Office of Net Assessment is not an allegation. It's true. What he was paid for with your taxpayer dollars is still a semi-open question. If he was paid to spy on Trump and you paid for it, to engage in, at best, illicit government spying, at worst, illegal government spying, with your tax dollars, who else was paying him and why does that matter? Folks, as I said to you before, there's information in the dossier that fits a pattern of a lot of Halper's reporting. If Halper had any role in that dossier used to spy on Trump, any role whatsoever, and Halper was also taking money from other entities doing political opposition research, ladies and gentlemen, the scandal of the century just became the scandalous scandal of the century, but a scandal on top of a scandal, layered on top of another scandal, buried in a scandalous mess. So now we have an FBI informant, a government spy, we're not going to play the leftist euphemism game, it was a spy, S-P-Y, being paid by your tax dollars to illicitly spy on the opposition candidate for the presidency, Donald Trump, into 2017, potentially into his presidency here, where other stuff is happening. And we find out that other money may have changed hands as well from political operations that were intertwined with this. I told you this was going to get hot, folks.
You just heard the Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud and follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.